Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How is everyone today? Sorry, maybe just a tad early, but I just logged on, put up the screen and saw all of these comments already. So welcome everybody who's already on the channel. And wow, we've already had 2 dislikes and I've not even been on the channel. I wonder who they are. Amazing. Right, let me just quickly scroll back and see who's commented already. There's loads of comments. Shay, hi Andy, how are you, mate? Gary Deneen, hello. Gary Deneen, you're sitting really still. Hello everyone, says J6547. Shay, hey guys, Gary Deneen, is it just me or is there something happened with YouTube and Andy's talking and all I'm seeing is a still? No, Gary, I wasn't on. That's I put that up just before, just so everyone knows what time I'm coming on. Shay said he's not live yet. He's live in 10 minutes. Quick one, lads. I've just seen the Man City kit, says Gary Deneen. Oh my God, it looks... really? Do you think? I said yesterday, actually, when I saw it on the players, I didn't think it looked that bad. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it looks as bad as it did on its own. I agree, Shay. Not impressed with it at all, says Gary Deneen. Shay, when it's on the players, it's not horrendous. It could have been a lot better, but it's not the worst thing I've seen. It's certainly, for me, it's not the worst. Sorry, she's having a dyslexic moment there. I don't like the design of the kit. There is not a lot of thought there. You reckon, Gary? You reckon there's not a lot of thought into the kit? I think with the Hacienda sort of stuff, maybe there is a bit of thought, whether we like it in particular. Seems a lot of people are really impressed with that black kit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Shay, only so much you can do with blue though. Away kit could have been better, you reckon? Shay, I would have gone back to the white kit with a stripe through it, or even gone super retro with the home kit and have a club crest in the middle of the chest. But adding purple wasn't a good touch. It's the one thing I looked at, though. Don't know why they did that. I know there's a reference back to older kits, but I just keep it blue and white. Andy, you should schedule them for the time you do them. I did schedule it for the time that I do them. I scheduled it at 16:10 and I'm here at 16:10, or 16:11, 16:12 now. So I would like to see nice round neck against sky blue, the old Umbro kit. I actually like the neck, I must admit I like it. It's better than that garbage button that they had on the last one. Or if you want to do really retro, go with the first ever kit, black. I like that kit as well. I mean, like I said, watch the videos I did on the retro kits. There's some absolute corkers out there, but it is what it is, it's done with, so... hi Andy, from Mo Morris. How are you doing? Mind and Motion. Are you doing well, mate? Bertie Basses. Yeah, it did remind me of Licorice All Sorts. Have we signed anybody yet, or is it still rumours, smoke and mirrors? Nobody's been announced yet, I'm afraid. But hopefully later today or maybe tomorrow. Doesn't pre-season start like now? No. If you remember rightly, I said on the videos that Pep's given the players an extra week off, and they'll be returning at the weekend or on Monday, a few days training before they fly off to Asia. Let me scroll back through and have a look. Oh, 11 of those. Wow, amazing. Right, let's go through. Shay, they can't get any worse. Shay and Gary are having a right tete-a-tete with each other there. Rhubarb and Custard, third kit. 60-second countdown, anyone? 58. Well, last year's kit wasn't too bad. Paul Dickey, I think they'll try hard with the kits. Less is more. Sorry, did I get the times wrong? Because I'm in Germany. I'm an hour ahead. I think Andy's late. I'm not, mate. We'll have to bollock him for this. He's on at 10 past, says Chris, so wind your necks in. I'm here already. It's usually 4, and it was, but I was actually on a call to, a phone call to a follower of Man City Fan TV who rang me and wanted to discuss certain things. So as a good presenter, what I did was I took the call and I've been talking to him for about half an hour on all things Man City Fan TV. So I have to do that. Felix Carrera, 18, left wing Sporting Lisbon, about to sign a 5-year deal. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. That is the Felix, not the Joao Felix, I'm afraid. Hurry, I'm working a bit, says Paul Dickey. I'm going as quick as I can, mate. Hello, Brad Niblock. You will see him on pre-season. He's supposed to be the next nanny. Hi, Andy, says Jay. Mahrez fans, perhaps, Andy. Maybe a mixture of Mahrez and others. I don't know why when they ask for videos, we gave them videos and they still don't like it. So anyway, I like the new kit, white socks, says English Mastiff. Hakeem, no signings, nothing confirmed yet. Tickets released, says Brad. Tomorrow, going to hopefully get some at 9 a.m. Good luck with that, mate. Andrew Quinn, another 2 weeks delay on Rodri deal? No, don't think so. John Walters looks better on the women's team. Gary Dineen, we've sold more. We have sold more as Mahrez. Yeah. Felix about to sign where? He's about to sign, signed, I think, for City. Hello, Andy. How are you? I'm very good, Blue Heart. Hi, mate. Hi, Hassim Malik, 99. We've got 56 people already online. Brilliant. Welcome to the channel, those who are new, and welcome back to the usual suspects that are always on here. Al Hillock, Mahrez talk. No, Mahrez, Alice Flowers, please stop it. No signings. Like I said, the Mahrez thing, we don't do the Mahrez thing unless it's in the season. If it's in the season, we talk about Mahrez. But we're not going to talk about Mahrez because he's not at City, he's away with Algeria at the AFCON. Now, what we have done, for all those who want the Mahrez talk, is we specifically got Dean from DZ Football to do videos for Man City Fan TV, talking all about Mahrez and talking about Algeria and everything else. And that is, go and watch those videos. I can't believe you asked for it. We put it on there. Dean done a brilliant job, speaks really well, and people not really bothered watching it. So, you know, don't give it a thumbs down because we're not talking about it here. This is Man City Fan TV. It's not Algeria Fan TV. Go and follow Dean. Dean does all DZ Football _English. He does all of the stuff that's going on around Algeria and the AFCON and everything else. He's far better and more knowledgeable than I will ever be. So it's pointless me doing the videos because I don't watch it. I'll be honest with you. So come on here for City news. Come on here when the season starts and Mahrez is playing, and I'm sure Mahrez will have a wonderful season next season. Come on and look on and check in on the channel. But as far as that, go and watch the videos that are being put on the channel about Mahrez. Hakeem says no signings, no. Cobby says Felix to sign for who? For Man City. City fan from India, Marugab Maravi. Welcome to the channel, mate. English Massive. Bugsy Malone looks like a big lad in new away top. I won't like a punch off that guy. The new Puma. Yeah, he's a big lad. Stevie Black. Hi, Andy. How's it going? Who is this Felix fella out of nowhere signing? Yeah, it is a bit out of bit left field, but he's on his way and should already be having his medical now at Man City. He was pictured in the airport. And it's not Joao Felix, I'm afraid. Stephen Clark. Hi, what's happening with transfers? Surely we should have bought somebody by now. There's 38 days left. Yeah, absolutely. It'll happen. We just have to wait for it. Talk Mahrez, Algeria. Can I book tickets by ringing up? Yeah, I'm sure you can, mate. Loved your tactics video you put today, mate. Very interesting. Thank you, Shay. Hope you liked it. It took an awful lot of work. Trust me, it took about 12 hours in total of work and things like that. And then I was up late last night doing some final touches and editing and decided to put in some extra bits and pieces, and I did like a live tactical board where I was talking to the camera and in there. So I'm really pleased. The feedback has been exceptional. Everybody seems to really like it, which is great. If you want me to do more of those type of things, like I said, I can't do one a day or one a week. Sometimes it takes a long time, a lot of sort of research and things. So if you like it, I'll do some more without a shadow of a doubt. No, it's Algerian ignorance, says Darcy Clean. John Walters, come on England, smash America. Yeah, let's hope so. English Mastiff, Pep Guardiola won't leave City. His wife is part of the Cheshire set now. Andrew Quinn, who you reckon first signing, Andy? I think it'll be Rodri. Well, I think we might have a signing that's coming, but not a big signing. The main signing, I think, will be Rodri. David Marks, Andy. Rashford, 250 grand a week. United doing what they did with Rooney. Overrate and overpay a player. Well, 250, I think it's over 300 with his bonuses. That is a lot of money for a young kid. But well done to him. like I said, Rashford is one of the players I actually really like. I do like him. Sean Seymour, any danger of someone clearing up Sane is sticking about? I mean, he's in the kit publicly, so surely. Well, that's one of the things I put on the channel to talk about for that very reason, Sean. So, seeing as though you've actually brought it up, maybe we'll just have a quick look. And basically, as you know, whenever a player really sort of does a kit shoot launch for a new season, it tends to suggest that the player is staying. I'm not sure whether it's 100% true, but if you're going to put somebody up front, and these photos would have been done a few weeks ago, it tends to suggest that there is something going on, and the player is definitely going to sign for City. So the fact he's in that kit launch, he's in the black kit in the Hacienda sort of reconstruction images and background, suggests that Leroy Sane is definitely going to sign for Manchester City, which is great news for us, or sign an extension, I should say. Sean Seymour, Blue Heart, Algeria have their own show on Man City Fan TV. Stop complaining, Algeria. Dylan Wolfenden, hi Andy, what do you think to the people who say we only have plastic fans? They're just sad, aren't they? It's just, they pluck it, they hear it or they read it on social media, and it's like, plastic, right, I'll use that in my next tweet, and it's unoriginal, and it doesn't really matter. We know the truth. Terry UK, hi Andy, how are you, Terry? Alex Flowers, please, man. Stop it. What we got? Hassan, can't believe we haven't signed anyone yet. We need to hurry up so we can play in the pre-season so they can have a best possible. Mate, we don't go on a pre-season tour now for another 2 weeks, or 10 days. So there's no rush. Chill, buddy. Absolutely chill. It'll be signed when it's signed, and that's it. It'll be done. Don't worry about it. See City kicking Berry. Yeah, that was one of the things I was just talking to my lad Will about it, and another sort of kick in the bollocks really for Berry, which I feel really sad about. And my good friend Den, who comes on here on the channel, I've been to lots of games with Den, to Wembley, things like that with him. He's a big Berry fan, but he's also a big City fan as well. And he's just in desperation at the moment with the whole thing. So it looks like they haven't paid for it, and City are finally saying enough's enough and going to kick him out of Carrington. I don't think enough people say, Andy, we all appreciate the work you put into this channel and then content the guys put out with things like Patreon, etc. Great. Thank you very much, mate. It's really appreciated. Comments like that. I've had 3-4 emails today that were really appreciated by people who follow the channel and people that don't follow the channel, but I've actually watched. They actually watched the Rodri tactical analysis. And basically said that they were just really impressed with it, and that the direction the channel is going in is what they want. So I want to just say a massive thank you. You know who you are, and one I've just been chatting to on the channel, who comes on the channel, I've been chatting to just before I came on. That's why it went to 4:10 rather than 4, because the call sort of finished late. But I didn't want to cut him off because he had some really good suggestions and things like feedback on the channel. So I just want to say a massive thank you. You know who you are, and unless you give me permission, I won't give you a shout out. But if you want me to say who you are, then I'll more than happily say it on the channel. But I'm not going to sit here and sort of pretend that loads of people emailed me and without giving the names out. But if you want me to give your names out and you're happy, I'll more than happily say it on the channel. You just have to let me know. Roberto Blondie, afternoon. Great video earlier, Andy. Thank you very much. Julio, am I late? Yeah, you are, mate. You're about 15 minutes late, or maybe 13 when that was posted. Kozad Mahrez. Scott Williams, EM heard about the Carrington stuff, Blondie. Hope your head has recorded. Yeah, how did that go? Was it a late one? Was it as late as mine? I think I got to bed at about 10 to 4 this morning after putting the final bits of editing together. So I hope your head's okay today. You had a bit of a lie-in. Roberto Blondie, Julio Castaneda, we're about 10 minutes in, mate. We want Mahrez. Stop disliking the videos, you trolls. It's just childish, guys, says Shay. Who else? You know what, guys? I'm just going to ignore the Mahrez stuff. Look, I'm not being rude, but like I said, and you can keep commenting on, keep putting thumbs down. I'm not bothered. I'm really not. Unless you want me to block you. Now, if you want me to block you from the channel, then you're not going to be able to come on and comment and make suggestions like you did the other day saying, can you talk about Mahrez? And what I did was I gave you the Mahrez videos and talked about Mahrez. So if you're going to come on here on the live stream, which we're talking about Man City, you're going to leave me no option but to block you. And I don't want to do that. So what you need to do is go over and watch the videos that we're actually already giving you on the channel. So, Darcy Kane, you guys keep spamming. Yeah, that's why I tell you to shut up. Steve Black, Legend, Bellatelli going to Accrington for a friendly. Yeah, no, so I read a bit about that before. Which position is most crucial to sign first? Hayden, Matt Vey says, definitely the Rodri position for Fernandinho. I think that's all 3 years. If you watch it, if you've not watched the video back that I did earlier, that I did on the Rodri tactical analysis, it's crucial. We've tried to replace, or not replace, but we've tried to bring in reinforcements for Fernandinho's position for 2 years and have failed. But now, hopefully, fingers crossed, Rodri is going to be the most important signing we'll make this season. Jay Fresh Donner, what's up, Andy? What I missed? We've just been talking through. We're getting a load of grief off the Mahrez fanboys again. The video of Fern and Rodrigo was great, Andy. Well done. Thank you, Blue Heart. Terry UK, we will know properly when the season starts who signs. Isn't that right? Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's one of those. There's no point in getting upset and worried about it. You just have to basically go with the flow. Right, okay, I'm gonna, just give me 1 second, guys, just give me 1 second. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back now because it's becoming a bit invasive on the channel. So let me just go, and I'm gonna just go on a very quick blocking spree. So give me just a second, 1 second. Let me just bring them up, and they're going now because it's getting a little bit sort of boring. Right, you can go. So you're gone. You can go. You can go. You can go. Who else do I need to do? That one can go. Let me just go down, nearly there, don't worry. Right, you can go. And one more, there's just one more, won't be a second. That one, that can go. Okay, right, let's carry on. Jesus Christ, what's going on with this chat? I know that you've just got to do it, and I don't like doing it, but you sound like, Darcy says you sound like a bloody child. We want Mark. Yeah, I know. Good afternoon, Andy and Philip. Scott's on. Sure T, how are you, buddy? You okay? Don't forget that I think you've just emailed me back. I'll speak to you after this vlog. If it happens again next stream, Andy, I'd suggest going through your subscriber list and block. Yeah, I've just blocked a load now, mate. Well, Andy, if Rashford is worth 250, 300k, then can I share how much is exactly? But I do like, to be fair, I do like, sorry, I'm just going through as I talk and I'm just blocking more people. I do like Rashford. I've always said I really, really do like Rashford. Right, that can go as well. Hey, Andy, don't allow the haters back. No, I've just blocked them one. That's what, Andy, these guys are ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, it's just pathetic. The kids, the people who hide. I've already been there and done it. And that's why, you know what, it's my fault. It's nobody else's fault. I asked Dean to try and do a video for the channel on the Mahrez, just try and appease a different fan base. It's obviously backfired. So I'll speak to Dean and just say, look, mate, I don't want you to do any more videos because they can go and watch it on your channel and give you the grief. So remove that one. So if you're coming up on this chat, which I've already said loads of times, it's not about Riyad Mahrez. Hey, Dwayne. then I'm just going to block you. Dwayne Nichols, hey, how are you, buddy? Andy on a blocking spree. Watch out, people. Yeah, I am, mate. That's it. When your channel gets bigger, I'll be a moderator for you. I won't mind kicking some of these Mahrez fans. Hey, you're more than welcome, mate. We want Mahrez, right? You're going as well. This is actually quite cathartic and therapeutic. So boring, yeah. Mahrez is amazing. Why do you not talk? Go over and watch the videos. Now you're blocked from the channel. Do United fans have infinite sources of money? How are they affording to pay 3, 4, maybe even 5 players 300 grand away? They do earn a lot of money, but it's just crazy. Steve Black, don't get this a joke, but I actually like the content of these live chats and the channel itself as long as time blue. It's great to mix with fellow blues. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Steve Black. I really do appreciate it. United love spending pointless cash to do. It's madness. I once heard that Rashford's family are City supporters. Do you know if it's true? I don't know. I know a guy who used to coach Rashford when he was young, very young. Well, not very young, but he was in his sort of teens before he moved, and around the, I think it was around the Trafford area, Charlton, Trafford, that way, and he was a coach for, I can't remember the name of the teams now, the teams that they come from, but I don't know, maybe I could ask him. Not bad, bro, thanks, Dwayne. Mahrez is better, yeah, you can go. Uno Septium, if you're using Streamlabs to stream to YouTube, you have an easy way to ultimately block the M word. I'm not using Streamlabs, mate. It's straight onto our YouTube channel, so I don't need to use other software to be doing stuff like that. It just automatically happens. If Canchal, but I don't want to block people that anyone mentions about Mahrez, because somebody could just turn around and say something about, do you think Mahrez will do well? Yes, yeah, suddenly blocked. God, that's it. Dylan, if Cancelo does come, he replaced Walker. I don't know whether I don't know, mate. If he does come, which I said on the live stream yesterday, I don't think it's happening. Dance City, I'll moderate. Need to show my forehead dominance. Hey, you can do if you want to, mate. Just send me an email. I'll put it here, mcscfantv@gmail.com. Maybe I do need a moderator at the moment. Yes, Mahrez, I want to talk that. Go and talk to your mates. Hi, Andy and guys. Hi, Bernard. How are you? We want Mahrez. Yeah, go and talk to your mates, mate. There you go. Hi, Andy. Hi, Bride Gardner. How are you? Shay, got a question for you, Andy. Would you rather have us win the treble again next season or the Champions League on its own? Treble next season, mate. I think back to back would be amazing. That shows proper. I mean, it shows consistency now, but if you win 3 back-to-back Premier League titles, wow, that shows dominance, absolute dominance in your domestic league. So for me, Champions League, I'm not fussed about it. I've always said it. It's a cup competition, and it doesn't. When UEFA finally decide to go back to how it used to be with the European Cup, where it's only the winners, the champions of that particular league, then I'll probably show a bit more interest in it. Otherwise, it's just another cup competition for European clubs. I said no disrespect to Spurs and to Liverpool. Neither of them have won their own domestic league in 85 years combined. I mean, so it's just a cup competition. I don't view it, but I do understand why the younger generation really have been brought up with the Champions League and really, really rate it. But for me, Premier League every day of the week. Doctore CTID, not spoke to you for a while. How are you doing, mate? Jerry Gow. GHQ and Sula's got stamina. Yeah, he must have. David McLaren. Hi, Andy. How are you doing? How are you, David? David Marks, wasn't there a rumour doing the rounds that Rashford come City? Yeah, there was. I think it's agent talk, if I'm being honest with you. Though I would like him. I would like him at City. I really, really do rate him. Bernard Dineen says, what a fool I was last night. Turned up in 50s gear with custard pies, and it was the wrong Bugsy Malone. Very good. Excellent. Right, what we got here? Scott Williams says treble every day, Shake. There you go. Regangsha, don't know if the kit thing gives us proper confirmation, Andy, mate. Neymar did the same recently for PSG, being heavily... Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think it's 100%. Sulking team, but why do you not talk about Mahrez? Okay, there you go. Terry UK, I agree about waiting. I'm glad you do. I think City are stronger. Of course, I mean, you've got to wait. I mean, it's out of completely out of our hands. So it's pointless to be worrying too much about it. Sean Seymour, I think I'll come back when Nobed stops saying Mahrez. They're all sort of being removed now immediately. They need to get rid of the away goal rule. Yeah, I think there's loads of changes should happen to... you hate Mahrez, I don't hate Mahrez. This is Man City Fan TV, it's not AFCON TV. I'm busy, mate. 1 month fully work. Ah, right, okay, mate, that's why. Right, okay. Another one gone. I think you've got a lot more banning to do than you think, Andy. Might need a team of moderators to stop them out. I think I will do. Home kit or away kit? I'll go with a home kit. Because it's that blue and white, but even though it's got the purple on there. But I don't mind the away kit, but I'll probably stick with the home. If I'm being honest with you. So, what is the gen? Missed that one. What is the gen on this new Felix then, Andy? Okay, we'll talk about that now. And this is... let me bring it up. City are basically on the verge of signing sporting youngster Felix Carrera. Now, according to Ohogo, the teenager travelled to England last night and there was pictures of him in the terminal, followed by his agent Eduardo Marinho, and should soon become a Manchester City player. It reports that Felix is expected to sign a 5-year deal with the Premier League champions, with the Lions making €7 million from the sale. They tried to hold on to him at the club for longer, but the fact that he didn't accept a new contract basically forced the Lisbon side to sell him, since his current deal expired next year. Now, he's still having a medical. It could even be confirmed any time now, and it's likely to be presented tomorrow as a Man City player. It's claimed the likes of Barcelona and Juve were also interested in Carrera, but it was City who won the race. So he's 18 years of age. I had a quick look at his sort of stats and not really much to talk about. He turned 18 in January. He's a right winger. He's played for Portugal's under-19 team, and he's no real history about him because he's only a kid. If we go through his sort of national team stuff, going all the way, if we go back to maybe the under-17s where he played 17 times, scoring 6 goals. For the under-18 team, he played 5 and scored 5. For the under-19s, he's played 5 but not scored any. So, you know what this looks like? It looks like a typical, we've got the guy in and we're going to send him straight back out on loan to somebody. So, I think that's basically... the whole bottom of it. Hey mate, Craig XD here. Nice one, doing us proud. Thanks, Craig. Doctori, what if next season we just win the Champions League and the Premier League? Is it disappointed or happiness? Oh God, no, I'd be well happy with the Premier League and the Champions League. Wow, yeah, definitely. Would definitely actually be more than happy if it was just a double and that was the Premier League and the Champions League. I hope Mendy is fully fit, stays fit next season. We had some mad assist numbers last season, even though he played, 7 or 8 games. Could be another Centurion next season, Andy, says Shay. Totally agree with you, said it on here. When he plays, he's absolutely incredible. The problem being is when he's not fit, it's not great. We can't have a player that we pay sort of 50 million quid for playing 7, 8 games a season. It's just not going to happen, and I don't think it will happen if he stays and next season Pep decides that he gets injured again and decides enough is enough. That's it. We can't be doing with it anymore. So fingers crossed, like I said, fingers crossed that he has actually now got to the bottom of the problem that's going on with his knee, and Dr. Kugat has fixed that. He's been in training, so he'll have already been in quite a lot of training. He'll go on the pre-season tour, no doubt. get some game time before the season starts. So we're signing the wrong Felix. Yeah, that's what I thought when I first saw the headline. Why don't one of you Mahrez fanboys set up your own YouTube channel? He's been bang average at City. There you go, says Chris Baker. Are you getting it, Mahrez? Now the City fans are not happy with you. There you go. It's going to be hard to sell a player who's not touched a ball in over a year if he's injured next season. Well, I don't think it'll be hard to sell him, and we just won't get a lot of money for him, if I'm being honest. Andy Zinchenko, says Mergan Shah. Andy Zinchenko just got the number 11 jersey. What do you think that means for his career at City? Well, I think he's just going to go on. He just absolutely seems to want to fight for a place. We saw that last season and he did fantastically well. If Mendy's fit, for me, Mendy absolutely starts. He does. But we know now we can trust Zinchenko, even though he has his own faults because he's not a natural left-back. But we know he can go through a campaign, 38 games, plus cup competitions. And he's reliable, absolutely reliable. So I just say good luck to the kid. And, you know, if he gets game times, he gets game time. If he plays in his natural role in midfield, in the cup competitions, brilliant. I mean, that's excellent. Mahrez has been pish for City. These fanboys need to behave. You're only going to make it worse. Brotissimo, Andy, the guys keep making different accounts spam. Yeah, of course they do, mate. I'm not going to worry. I'm not even going to go there. If anything pops up, I'm just going to delete it. Sel Mahrez, Dominus, thanks for that one. Dominus. Here they come. Who do you see as replacing Otamendi, Company, Walker and Aguero with? Wow, Hayden, that's a... You keep asking these questions and I keep saying to you, contact me at mcfcfantv@gmail.com because you ask some really, really good questions. But the problem being is that the questions that need thinking about are ones that, you know, need a little bit of thought rather than just top of my head. So, who knows? Maguire, Cancelo, if he does come in. We've got Jesus for Aguero. Do we go for the likes of Dybala for a Aguero replacement? But I think Aguero's still got 2 more years, so I think we're safe for that right now. Or do we go all out one season and go for Mbappe? So Bernard Deneen says, do you know anything about the Premier League FFP changes? Yeah, Premier League FFP changes, no. But there has been rumours, and it's come out, and I think it was in Manchester Evening News, let me just grab it, that financial fair play has had a change. And basically what that means is that from July the 1st, adjustments to the regulations has removed a rule keeping a check on actual wage bill increases. In 2013, it says the short-term cost control was brought into the ruling system, which prevented clubs from enduring mass spending sprees. This law meant that any 12-month player wage increase above £7 million had to be funded by new commercial deals. Where now, while this was less of a problem basically for the big clubs like Man City, it did prevent others from spending even within their means. However, it'll be obviously music to the ears of lesser club owners or smaller club owners, allowing clubs to more freedom to trade in the transfer market. So it says as explained, although this rule change will benefit every club, this significant development is mainly for those below the top 6 as they bid to break into that sort of illustrious group at the top and try and get into sort of European qualification. The ruling means we may see more ambitious spending from the best of the rest, and also clubs in the bottom half of the table as they strive to try and make up that gap in there. So so from the 1st of July now, that movement, that ruling on wage bill increases on short-term cost control, that's actually been removed. So it doesn't mean to say that it's just for lower end clubs. It'll also help City in the long term as well. So let's get back to what else. Let me see. Jumped ahead there. Hayden, do you think? Sorry. It just keeps jumping because there's that many comments coming on here, which is fantastic. Brilliant, guys. Thank you, and keep them coming. Where has it gone now? Dominus says, shut up, Mahrez fanboys. Yes, Scott, I reckon we could go. He could go back to Sporting. He could do. If Mendy stays fit, Zinchenko says Doctor could play him. If he could do. He could do, because that's his natural position, and we've seen him for the Ukraine play very well. Scott Williams says, I think we have both passed our best to put the boots back on. Still nice to dream. King Art W says, Mahrez is City's worst attacker. Laughed my ass off last season. I'd rather play Foden or Zinchenko on the wings, even put Mendy out on the wing in his crutches instead. What's the rumour going around about? Yeah, just talked about the FFP stuff there. Dominus Earth, what is this obsession with Mahrez? I'm from Argentina. Don't scream talk Aguero. I know, mate. They are delusional. They are a delusional fan base, unfortunately. And you only have to listen to Dean from DZ Football, who follows Algeria. It's his team and everything else. And even he says that they're all kids. They're just kids, and they're obsessed. Could be biased, says Shay, but I think the only one suitable for replacing Aguero would be another Argentinian striker. Something about those guys, that's lucky child for us. Tevez, Aguero, good shout out. So the likes of a Dybala and others. Jason, have any news on Angelino Maguire? Also, how many homegrown players do we need to get back to the squad? No news on that, mate. At this moment in time, still nothing has come out. Do you think Diaz made a mistake leaving City? Well, not for his bank balance, but yeah, I do think he made a mistake, if I'm being honest, because he's going to really struggle to get into that Real Madrid team. Even if he goes on a year's loan and comes back, he'll struggle. Roberto Blondie, they're all children spamming the channel, mate. Ignore them. Scott Williams says, spot on, Dominus. Hope you're looking forward to the semi-final. Terry UK says, Zinchenko is good for a kid like that. Yeah, absolutely. I like that. I like his attitude. David McLennan, whatever happened with the business regarding the goalkeeper ruling from Real Sociedad on loan? Sorry, more just coming through. Loads and loads on here. I do apologise. Maybe just ban the word Mahrez. Yeah, well, I don't want to do that because people might have to genuinely like it, but I might have to do it. Moirag Moravi, is City signing? Yes. Angelino, yeah, I think it's going to happen. Too much Mahrez, yeah. FFP changes to help United, probably. I think the Aguero's replacement will be like all the other replacements bought in the possible year before. Yeah, I think if we're going to buy a new replacement, I think it's going to happen next season. With Aguero having one more year left, we don't have this thing where we get rid of one player, we bring somebody in. It's like we have this transitional period, and I think that's the right way to do. Chan Herb says new Puma kits are fire. Others on here earlier said not keen on it, mate. English Mastiff tried to stop City spending, has backfired. Biting nose off spite face, absolutely. Finally, the Mahrez fanboys died out. Yeah, they will do eventually. Just have to go on a big blocking spree and then they go away. They'll be back if we stay on much longer. But I'll speak to Dean about it. So, winners draw for Champions League qualifier as Julio. I'm not sure, mate. I'll be honest. Who is this Mahrez kid anyway? No idea. Spencer's and Mark, has the new FFP change helped United's? Gil's still doing his best to help out. Sorry for missed comments on FFP. Yeah, it's more it'll probably be more to do with the lower end clubs than others, but I'm sure Gil, being on the board, will do everything he can to help United out. Brad Niblock, did you ever get that room directed out? As we all know, you hate painting. I haven't yet, mate. I was speaking to somebody before, rang me about it, and there's still a bed up there. It's an old, well, it's a nice bed, but it's solid with drawers and everything around it. It was Will's old bedroom, but Ralph's gone away to Barcelona with his mates, and one of his mates was staying over here the night before the other day, so I haven't had time over the weekend to do it, but this week I plan to get the bed broken down, get it out there and move my office up there. Yeah, it's going to be exciting because it's going to be my office with all City memorabilia and things like that up there. So that's where the vlogs will be coming from shortly. China Urban Zinchenko is 11, then where will? I'm a bit late today, don't worry, Brandon. David McLennan, Icardi, yeah, well, if you want his wife Wanda as well with it, if the troubles, because it does seem he does bring a little bit of baggage with him. I'm not sure he's a pet player. Just seem to, but yeah, they do, King. They do appear from nowhere. David Marks, one last one, Andy. Do you think Pep needs to drop a trophy or two FA Cup leads serious challenge? You could argue that, but I just don't think it's the Pep way, David Marks. I don't think it is. I think Pep goes all out, absolutely all out to win every single competition. And let's face it, we should have an in-depth. We've got a really, fantastic squad. We've got basically 2 players for every position, and most of those second-rate, second-tier players would walk into most Premier League teams. So I just can't see it. I can't see him sort of targeting one competition at the expense of another. I think he'll go for everything. And let's face it, last season with Tottenham, the home game, VAR did us. They basically did us with the Llorente goal. So we could have been through to the semis, and then who knows? I mean, we could have gone on and got through to the final, won it. So I don't think Pep will target one competition over another. Robert Oblandi, Andy, can you please tell Dean I enjoyed his content with his channel, but I have subscribed to his anyway, so all good. Just like him to know he's having. Yeah, I will do, Robert Oblandi. Like I said, Dean does a really, really good job. A very, very good job with his stuff. Did he score 10 goals in a game recently or something? Who did? Did who? Murrigan Shaw. How much did we sell Diaz for, Andy? 22 million. 22, I think it was, or 22.5. I'm not sure, but it was around about that. It was good money. It was very good money for a kid. If Zinchenko is 11, then where will he be competing with? I don't think numbers will define where he plays. Hello, no on Julio says no on Maro Icardi. Diaz was sold for 15. No, it was more than that, mate. It was 22 million, I think it was. I'm sure it was. Might be wrong. Let me just have a look, but I'm sure it was 22 million. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me just have a quick look. See. Oh yeah, you're right. No, yeah. The value. It was the transfer fee was 15.5 million. But it also with the add-ons and everything else, it's 22 million in total. So yeah, we got 15.5 million up front, and then with everything else. Is Mbappe realistic, Brad Nimblot? Possibly. I don't think doesn't seem too pleased at the moment at PSG. I think he'll stay for next season, but then maybe he'll want a change and things like that. Mr. C, Jesus been given number 9 for a reason. I think it will do, and I think next season's going to be a really important season for Gabby. Dylan Wolfenden, do you think we overpaid for Mahrez? Personally, me, yes. Scott Williams, only one replacement for Kun and Mbappe. I agree. I still think he's probably the one player in world football that, if you're going to spend massive, and believe me, it will mean massive, massive money. That is something that fly on there. That is something that I think City should go for, because players like that don't come along very often. What do you make of yet another year of City being linked with Disco Isco since? It's garbage, isn't it? It's every single season, every single transfer window. It's been coming up now for 2-3 years. Terry UK, them who's talking about Mahrez all time are dreaming about him also, I bet. Yeah, but most of them are sort of banned now and gone. Spencer remarks, Scott Mbappe is a winger. Well, he can play in that striker's role without a shadow of a doubt, and we're fluid up front. Julio, Isco City, never heard that one before, says Julio. Yeah, where's he? Who is he? This Isco guy. Scott Williams, Spencer Mark, think Pep would turn him into a striker. Of course, I think he would, without a shadow of a doubt. Mr. C, Champions League draw is August the 23rd. Okay, so we've still got a long way to go yet. I suspect in the length of time going on about the FFP that football self-proclaimed gods are quaking. I bet it will shrivel out to be nothing. Well, I've said it all along. I think the FFP stuff, nothing will happen with it. I really do believe that nothing will happen with it, because City will go all out with everything they've got to basically not only to prove their innocence or clear their name, but also to go on the full-on attack. And it will take somebody, some big balls and a lot of money to go after UEFA. And UEFA, if that was City, like Khaldun has said, he will throw 30 million quid at it with lawyers if he has to. UEFA won't want that because, let's face it, they're all in it for their own backs. You know, they make a lot of money out of it, and they will not want somebody challenging them and getting everything out in the open of what's happened with UEFA. You only have to look at how corrupt it's been in the past with Platini and others. So I don't think anything will come of it. I think it's all just blowing smoke up people's asses and trying to justify their jobs and make them look like they're making a stance against this big bad, you know, owners who from oil countries and things like that. I can't see it happening. If FFP was that, how can I say it? If FFP was implemented in a way that was all about football integrity and everything else, you'd already hear Real Madrid being investigated. You know, the big teams like that don't get investigated. It just seems that they just don't. They have this thing about Man City. Shakti Shiva, hi Andy, keep up the good work. Just the league and the Champions League this season. Thanks very much. Okay. Hey, listen, if we got the Premier League and the Champions League, I'd be more than happy with that, Shakti. Hayden, do you think Diaz regrets moving to Madrid? Don't know him, mate. So you'd have to ask him. It's one of those personal questions that you would have to ask him. Right, what else have we got here? Loads. Sorry guys, there's so many comments coming through. Keep them up. It's absolutely brilliant. Isco City seems to come about every year. Yeah, Brandon Wallace, the way Liverpool played in the Champions League final, we would have. It was an awful final. We know that. Spencer Martin, not so sure. Scott, he's all pace, not cultured like Corn. Jerry Gow, Edison for centre forward next season. Hey, I'm hoping. I don't think it'll happen. I'm hoping for company's testimonial. Edison might play in midfield, mate. J6547, when's the next podcast, Andy? Has there been a second? Yeah, the second podcast is already out on the channel, mate. It went out on Friday night, late Friday night. So it's already on the channel. Go and have a listen to it. It's brilliant with two young City fans, season ticket holders. So a different perspective this time from the old school City fans of the first one to interviewing the younger generation of City fans, and they've got some strong opinions about what's things with season tickets and, you know, supporter clubs and things like that. So go and check it out. The third podcast will probably be another 2 weeks. So it won't be every week. It'll be every 2 weeks. Steve Black says City will be stronger again this year. Doubt Liverpool will achieve that. I agree with that. Yeah, I thought the same thing when watching it. Herons Tingweni, without anyone breathing down our necks like Liverpool last season, we can push every trophy. Absolutely. David McLennan, will Munich be number 2? No, Muric, sorry, be number 2 keeper when Bravo's fit. He's done a good. He has done, but I still think he'll go on loan, mate, to Forest potentially. I think Bravo, when fit, will be number 2 keeper, in my opinion. Julio Ellison as Fernandinho replacement. That would be great. Dominus Earth, Brandon Wallace, too bad UEFA just always find a way to destroy our UEFA Champions League run. Yeah, Shay, what narrative do you think the media will take next season, Andy? It seems to be in City's favour. It never seems to be in City's favour, or talking positively about City. Always seems when we do well, bad headlines come out. Absolutely spot on. I don't think there'll be any changes. I don't think there'll be any changes whatsoever. I really don't. I think you'll still get your really, really good journalists that talk sense and are fairly pragmatic in their approach. And, you know, let's not forget, you know, we have been charged by UEFA in the past for FFP. So we've got to take that one on the chin, regardless of whether rule changes occurred during the process and things. We got charged with it. End of story. We are currently under the FA. This is the one that worries me. This whole FIFA investigation into the 9 under 18 players. So if that's true, there is a possibility of a transfer ban, like Chelsea have got. So we're not whiter than white. We're not, you know, these are not, the people who run City, these contractual issues and with underage, they know the rules. They're not stupid. You know, if you're at work and you've got SOPs and procedures in place to follow, and you don't go and do something and go, oh, I didn't know there was a procedure for that. You know what the procedures are and what you don't. Whether you try to be a bit cheeky and circumnavigate them and things like that and got caught, you know, then you get a slap on the wrist and that's it. So, you know, we're not whiter than white, and I'm not saying it's just City. There are plenty of clubs like that out there, you know, and we're just going to have to accept it. But as long as the proper journalists, the likes of your Martin Samuel and others, keep being objective, and that's the key to it. And I don't mind journalists writing about us. I really don't. Jonathan Northcroft, you look at the interviews I've done with Jonathan Northcroft, brilliant journalist for the Sunday Times, excellent. Now, he raised issues in the interview I did when I interviewed him outside the main entrance of the Etihad after a game, and it was the Bournemouth game. And I challenged him on some of his wording that he'd used about, you know, human rights and things like that, and said to him, should you really in match reports be talking about that type of stuff, or should you be focusing on the game, you know, the match itself? Is there any need, you know, do a separate piece if you want to, you know, because nobody can argue and say, well, you shouldn't be talking about human rights issues. Yeah, you should, but is a match report the right place for you to be talking about it? Is the terminology like oil club, you know, Abu Dhabi royal family owned, blah, 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 government owned? And it's not government owned. It's owned by Sheikh Mansour out of his own money, not out of government money. He's a self-made, very successful businessman worth about £25 billion. So the money that's coming to City is, like I said, he made over 2 billion just in the Barclays deal that funded the Manchester City purchase. He made that in like less than 12 months. That's how clever this guy is in his own fund. So, you know, I don't mind journalists. I really don't mind journalists having an opinion, being objective, but when they use that terminology and start bringing lights of human rights and the Yemen and things like that into match reports, that I do object to. I really, really do. Julio says, Shay, several journals have said that negative stories about City get more clicks. Of course they do. And you've got to remember that media is changing. Media is changing rapidly. No longer now do people really buy papers, which means everything is online. And all you need is a little bit of twisting of a headline. For example, what did I write in this title? Felix about to sign. Now, I could have said Felix Carrera, and people would have gone, oh yeah, who's he? But I put Felix in there because people might think, Joao Felix. Now, I'll be open and honest with you. It's only after I wrote it that I actually thought, should I put that? And I thought, no, I'll leave it as it is. It's what we do in media, and we're doing these things. It's what we do. We're not being nasty, and we're not being, you know, shady and whatever you want to call it. We're just using little bits of advantages to bring an audience in. And but what the problem being is with journalists, and when they do their reports, and you can read headlines and you go, oh my God, that's awful. What is that? You read it about City, and it actually, in the actual article, there's really nothing in it. Because the journalists submit their reporting and their articles to the sub-editor. The sub-editor is the one that comes up with the headlines, and the sub-editor knows that they've got to get people involved. They've got to get clicks. They've got to get it. So what they do is they read the article and they pick out and create a headline that they know City fans or other fans will go, oh, what's that all about? And actually, when you read the article, 9 times out of 10, the article's boring. There's nothing in it. Or the regurgitated stuff that we already know. You know, like last week, I think there was 3 days of the same guy or 2 different people in the Daily Mail writing about FFP stuff. So obviously you go in there, you think, oh, City FFP, has there been something I've not heard about this? And you click it, it's just regurgitated stuff from 6 months ago. It's like him going, a young intern at the Daily Mail, sort of saying, yeah, you need to write something about City's FFP. And we haven't done it for a few months. And he's just going through writing this thing. And what the sub-editor does is put this headline that makes it sound like there's something new, something's happened to City. And it's not. You read it, it's garbage. It's just the same old, same old. So That will always happen, and they've got to do it more and more and more and more now, because now everything is transitioned from paper journalism into media and to social media. Social media now is massive when it comes to selling stories, which means they need massive headlines, even though the content of the story is generally garbage. So I hope that clears that up. Sorry, loads more comments coming in. I've got about 5 minutes left, then I've got to go because I've got to do some more filming. Chano says, any signings yet? I've watched a few vlogs from you, but nothing is set in stone yet. Andy Spilby. There's nothing, mate. Trust me. When we see something and when we hear something that it's confirmed, you'll be the first to know. We'll put it on the channel. But we're not gonna. Like I said to you, I made that massive video on Rodri because I'm basically putting myself out there to say Rodri is definitely coming to City, and I think it'll be done very soon. Now he might not. He might end up going to Bayern, and then that'll make me look foolish, and it'll be one of those. Well, but I'm almost certain that it'll be done. Rodri will be our first major signing. We might sign this kid Felix Carrera tonight. It'll be announced, but he'll be on loan. He won't be around City, if I'm being honest. So when we talk about major signings, I think Rodri is going to be the first one. Steve Black says Mbappe likely next season, though I bet swap for cash. For Jesus, interesting one that. I think if we're going to sign somebody major, it's going to be next summer, as long as we don't get a ban for signings. But I think in world football, you've got your Messis, he ain't coming. You've got your Ronaldos, he ain't coming. Who else is there out there, really? Neymar won't want him at City. I don't think Pep would want him at City. And I think Pep's already come out and turned around and said the fact that he don't think it'll be a good move, Neymar, and whether it'll work going back to Barcelona. So I can't see City at 27 going for Neymar. No thanks, not for me. So the one big player that's out there now currently who is exceptional, and that's Mbappe. And maybe another year at PSG might be start getting a bit pissed off and bored with it and want a big move and a new challenge. And the good thing would be if you got an Mbappe at City next season, let's say it cost us, 250 million. I'd say it might be 300 million. We just went for one big signing, and that player is going to be the person to replace the likes of Aguero in the future. It might just be, that might be a good little tempter when Cheeky and Ferran go to Pep next season and say, go on, give us another year or two. Give us another year. Go on. You can improve Mbappe to become the Ballon d'Or winner, the best player in world football at Man City. You can do this. That might be a little bit of a tempter for Pep to think, I could make him into the best player in world football right now. So you can see the advantages from both sides. It cost a lot of money though. Right, let me quickly just go finally down, see some of your comments. So, right, what have we got? George Butterworth, how many loyalty points do you need to be able to go to every game? I'm currently on 2,000. You need a lot more than that, mate. A lot more than that. You're looking at about 18, 19,000 you need, mate. So you'll have to just keep going. But go over, George, go over and listen to the podcast Raw. It's on the channel, so you can see it, the Man City Fan TV podcast Raw with Rob. And he talks to two young City fans, 20 years of age, 21, 22 years of age. And they talk all about point systems and how it's unfair and how they'll never be able to get there. They talk about the Tunnel Club and everything else. Go over and check that out. You might find it really interesting. Scott Williams, EM, Defo and Nemetra going down to the Sancho route. Well, there is a little bit of news that came through yesterday. I didn't have time to talk about it yesterday. If I can find it now. Let me see. Yeah, Thierry Ambrose. We remember Thierry Ambrose from City. The 22-year-old, basically. He underwent a medical on Saturday, and he's going to sign for Mets. Sorry, he was originally on loan and with RC Lens. And did okay. Said it was quite a successful loan move, but basically he's moved to Liga FC Metz for around about, they believe it's not confirmed, but between 2 and 3 million euros. So his medical's been a success. It's all done and dusted, and he'll finally sign a 4-year contract with Metz. So good luck to him back in his home country. Good luck to him in the future. He was one that when he was younger, around about 18 years of age, I remember watching him for the under-18s and looked like a real talent, it just hasn't worked out one way or the other, and he's probably just not progressed enough to stick around Man City, if I'm being honest with you. What else have we got on here? Lots of chatter between each other. Most of the stuff journalists put out is clickbait, but the one who calls City fans sewer rats, that's Matthew Said. And on that video, Chris, that I did with Jonathan Northcroft, he knows Matthew Said quite well, and I did raise that on the video and said to him the fact of the wording sewer rats being used about City fans I thought was disgusting, and actually Jonathan Northcroft agreed and said that that type of language should not be used about football fans. So go and check that video out if you haven't watched it. It's a good interview, if I say so myself. Premier League version will be totally different. Andy, the insights into how the press media works is good, especially for City fans right now. It's, you know what, mate, it's, you know, I don't claim to be a journalist, I don't claim to be a broadcaster, I don't claim to be a writer, I don't claim to be all of these things that some others do, even though they're not. I'm just giving you the people that I've spoke to, and as you know on the channel, I've interviewed the likes of John Dillon when I challenged him over the David Silva comments. I've interviewed Jonathan Northcroft on numerous occasions, and you get a feel for what is happening. And when you speak to them, I said I had loads of conversations with John Dillon on the phone, nothing to do with the channel. It was after the videos had gone out and things like that, that we were talking about it. And you know, you get to know these people as human beings and not really journalists, and you read some of their stuff, and even if you disagree with it, you might have a go at it, but they are human beings at the end of the day. But you can see the pressure that they're under. You can see the reasons why they need this clickbait now. They need this, and you've got to remember a lot of these articles, like I said, a lot of it is down to the sub-editor, the titles, the headlines, the grabbing, the stuff that grabs people and goes, what's that all about? Click on it. That's not done really by the journalist, it's done by the sub-editor. The journalist writes his article. So, but some of them, yeah, the likes of Said and others, some of them do it purely because they want that click. Paul Murray says, agree, Chris Baker, he needs chinning. So good, he said it twice, Paul Murray. Already done the Anna Moran, you have to watch the video back, already talked about the changes, it's about players' wages. FFP changes are FA wage caps being removed. Sorry, you missed that. FFP changes are RFA wage caps being removed. What do you mean by that, English? Tony Fay, bye Andy, bye all. George, getting a City supporters club makes it easier to go away games. Certainly does. Whether you agree with that or not, it's certainly one that the guys talk about on the podcast. I hear VAR in Bundesliga works really well. No long days. I think it takes time, and it will take time. FA are going to screen VAR video decisions as they happen on the big screen. Really? Really? Is that true? Where's that from, English Mastiff? Because that would be really good. I think that would make a lot of sense. And why should they be hiding anything? We as fans at the match, we want to see what... Because sometimes we don't know what it is. Like, for example, the Tottenham game, you know, the offside with Sterling. We didn't know what that was. We had no idea in the stadium. We're all celebrating. Then suddenly it says VAR, and you're looking up thinking, VAR for what? What is that for? No, everyone's going, is it because of this? Was he offside? Was it a foul? Was it something? We don't know. We have no idea. So I think that'd be a great idea. Have some transparency with the whole thing. We don't need Mbappe or need to spend stupid money. We are doing things the right way. With transfers, not many bad ways in the last 6 years. Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. But somebody asked me about Mbappe, and I was talking more about, you know, if you were going to go for that, how much and when you would pay that type of money. Steve Black was watching vids earlier of past players. I must say, Baresi would... Oh, Baresi. Oh, what a player. What an absolute player. Tough as nails. Tough as nails. But... people forget just what a quality footballer he was as well. Spencer Mark thinks VAR is rigged. You also think we don't need Mbappe. I'm not saying we need Mbappe. That wasn't my point. Somebody was asking about Mbappe. And I was saying if we were to get him, it would have to be probably next season, and it would cost us an absolute arm and leg. No English, he's another Robinho. I think he's better than Robinho, mate. Do you think VR will lead to advertising during VR? Hey, for Blue Heart, do you think VAR will lead to advertising during VAR breaks? That's a good point. How much could they sell it? Well, I'll tell you what though, one thing I did hear, I think was listening to Talk Sports, something like that, I can't remember, the other day, was the fact that, let's face it, the FA, or the Premier League, or the FA, I should say, not the Premier League, they should be paying for VAR to be in every single league. If it's going to be introduced, it has to be right across the board. You can't just have it in the Premier League and not in Championship, or not in League One or League Two. They should be paying for it to come in everywhere. That way, referees get used to it, because as we now know, we don't have any referees on the FIFA panel of refereeing. And that's because VAR isn't being used in the Premier League. Now, next season, when the VAR, and this is really important with VAR, I think this was quite interesting. Hey, Sam Jarvis, how are you? Thought this was really interesting. You had the head of refereeing, as we know, is Pierluigi Collina, the Hills of Eyes. We know probably the best ref we've ever seen, except for the camp one who does all this. He's brilliant. But what he was basically saying was, when somebody questioned the fact that why is there no English referees being refereeing in these competitions and things, and he said, you don't have VAR. Now, we can only accept referees that are used to using VAR. So next season, when VAR comes in, we'll be able to select Premier League referees to referee at World Cups and competitions and things like that. Because until they've used VAR, we can't select them. Now, the next question is, what are the FA doing, or the Premier League doing next year with VAR? Is they're taking VAR, but they're actually removing the fact of VAR being allowed to be used for goalkeepers and penalties on the line. They basically said, we're not implementing VAR for that. Which means Collina's come back and basically said, well, that means that all the referees that are using parts of VAR, but not all of it, won't be eligible again to referee in European competitions or World Cup competitions. So it's like this, it's creating more problems. I don't know why the Premier League don't just turn around and say, right, we're just going to take VAR as it's being used in Europe. Let's not have, we'll have VAR, but we won't use it for this. Because what's going to happen there is referees are going to get used to doing parts of VAR, but the likes of Collina will turn around and say, well, you can't come on the referees' official panel because you're not using all of it. And you have to use all of it. We need to see you using all of it. But so it's a big, I don't get it. I think they should basically say, if you're using VAR, everybody uses it like this. That is it. End of story. Not, well, we don't want to use it for that. We'll only use it for this. It just creates more problems. Anyway, going very shortly, just last thing I want to talk about is, obviously, as it was announced yesterday, which go over and check out David Crook's article on Fansided. David Crook, if you don't know, is Crookie on Twitter. He's wrote another, it's at Crook DPC. He's wrote another great article with about David Silva being next season's captain. And really interesting read. And I wanted him on the channel, but he's not keen coming on camera. So that's absolutely fine. But he's wrote a really interesting article called David Silva, Manchester City's El Capitan. And it's all about the raw emotion of next season. And, David Silva's going to be our captain and lead us into the final year of his contract, etc., etc. So go over, check it out. It's on Fansided. Yeah. Any other bits, let's see. I'm going now. See Terry, joined late. Have you spoken about feet? Yes, already done it, Abdullah. I'm going now. Hey, Andy. Hi, Sam. What's off the see of you? Recap, Andy, mate. I'm sorry, mate. We've talked about Felix Carrera. We talked about David Silva, captain. We talked about FFP changes to wage structure and salary. We talked about Sane being in the new kit photograph. So, done that. We spoke about Mbappe. We've talked about Rodri and the video that I put out early hours of this morning. We talked about tons and tons of stuff. So go and check it out. It's going on live on the channel very shortly. So anyway, we talked to, yeah, we've even talked about Robbie Toe Blondie's hangover. No, well, we haven't, because you're not really told me. Thanks, Julio. Me going to see you later, J6547. Recap, oh yeah, Mahrez. We had about 8,000 Mahrez. Please talk about Mahrez. Retire number 21 shirt when Magician leaves. I won't, you know, am I one for retiring shirts? Maybe not, but I don't know. If we retired the 23 shirt for Mark Vivian Foe, 21, or do we keep it and say to our younger players, the likes of Phil Foden, do you want that shirt? You need to play. You need to keep developing, and you take the Legends shirt. So maybe it gives them that little bit of motivation. I did, mate. Oh, did you? Sorry, I might have missed that. Abdullah, the new Man City looks disgusting with purple. Latest Bernard, take care. Right, guys, I've got to go. I've got some more filming to do. All the best. Take care, Chris Baker. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for that email. See you, mate. Another great video chat. Thanks, Steve. Dylan, have a great night, mate. You too. David Silva's shirt will become inspirational. Yes, and that's my point. See you, Spencer's and Mark. See you, Dank City. Look after that forehead, mate. Maybe you might be a moderator. Maybe we'll get you on here and do a bit of moderating for us. Keep 21 ideal for the kids coming through. I agree. Cheers, Andy. I'm marking out my pitch in the back garden. I'm marking out the pitch in my back garden with those lines. You're talking about... You're talking about Pep's tactical pitch. I can't get in an XL shit, so I would not even get in a double XL, mate. Cheers, Paul Murray. Take it easy, mate. David McLennan. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, click subscribe. Click the notification, that bell icon. That way, as soon as we go live, I'll put more videos out. You'll be notified straight away. Give it a comment below. I see, well, we managed to just scrape over the 40. We've got 45 likes. Let me just make it 46. 42 dislikes by the Mahrez Massive. So take it easy. See you, English Mastiff. And if you've not given it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up before you go. And yeah, keep your comments coming. And if you want or got any ideas or you want to get involved in one of the episodes of Who Are You? There's more coming out probably tomorrow. Then don't forget, send me an email, mcfcfantv@gmail.com. But have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you soon.